The following program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parent company, Clear Channel Communications Incorporated.
Welcome to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ, offering support for those who care for a loved one. A show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Good morning, caregivers. It's so wonderful to be with you here on Monday, December 23rd, 2013. And I've got Tina in the house, so you know it's going to be a great, great show. We're so excited to be here together, and we have a guest. I'll say, Tina and I have a guest together today. It's Lisa Lawrence, who's president at Assisted Transition. And, you know, this is so true, the caregiving story. Lisa she was going to be in the studio with us today, but something happened to a family member, and she had to leave town on Friday. And so we're so happy to have her at least on call to be with us here today. But, you know, this is how caregiving is. And I wanted to wish everyone a happy and healthy and safe year, and also a holiday season. It's so important that you're feeling safe, you're feeling peaceful and joyful in any way that's possible for you. It's even if that means closing your eyes for a moment and just breathing and releasing any stress that you may be experiencing this time of year. Just take care of yourself. If you could just create that balance. We talk about it all year long, and it doesn't stop ever. We always want to create that balance. So if you have any comments that you'd like to share with us, you certainly can call us toll-free right now or do iChat. We're now so modern. We're taking this show live web stream, and now you can chat with us while we're doing the show. But if you'd like to call us, it's 1-877-897-8255. I have gotten so many calls this week about caregiving stress, and through the helpline, actually. And it's just been marvelous that I've been able to really help some people find some clarity, find some comfort, and also set up appointments and to call them specifically and spend more time with them one-on-one. So I want to thank all of the caregivers for reaching out for support and help and guidance. But you could do it here right now if you would like. You could do iChat on our website, thecaregiverhour.com, and just look for the archive or the live show, and it will show you exactly what we look like. Sometimes it's nice to see who's speaking. And I really want to bring Tina on because we're going to do something really cool together. The name of the show today is Safety Awareness for Wherever You Call Home. And I thought that was really a great title because home could be in so many places. So welcome back to the show, Tina.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tina Costa is the area manager for Arcadia Home Care and Staffing, and we're so thrilled to have you here today. So are you in the holiday spirit yet?
I am.
Good.
I am. I got there probably starting about a week ago. It took me a while to start doing my shopping.
Right.
And I count online shopping as holiday shopping.
Of course.
So, yeah, exactly. So I wrapped some gifts last night.
Nice.
I did some cards. So, yeah, I'm good.
That's terrific.
I'm good.
So what we're going to do together, I went to see Dee Woolridge from Quintessence. Now she's got another company, and it's her hypnotherapy and holistic health center. And I went to see her because I missed having doing the workshops with her, and we kind of wanted to catch up. So she is one of my spirit sisters, and I bought these cards. These are the Power Thought cards by Louise Hay.
You know, I will tell you, Kim, I got introduced to those it was maybe 2 years ago when you had them, and now I have my own box of them.
Good.
So it's very cool. It kind of, and I do. When I remember, I try to grab one in the morning, and it kind of gets you going for the day.
It does.
Look at you shuffling over there.
Yeah,
like
I'm shuffling them. I'm going to shuffle them because I'm going to let you have one. I'm going to let Tina have one. So there's many to choose from. And they're beautifully illustrated.
Yeah, they're nice.
So if anyone is interested, you want to get in touch with Dee Woolridge, and I will get you the number, so if you want to call her, she has them. But you can also get them if you go on to Louise Hayes' website. She has them there as well, I'm sure.
Okay.
But it'd be great for you to see Dee because she's so wonderful.
Okay, so pick a card, any card?
Any card.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Tina pull her card.
And then we have to talk about whatever one I
Yes,
grab.
we do.
You got to let him go, babe.
Okay, but I can.
Okay.
I can. I can let him go. I love him.
Oh, here we go. Am I reading this?
You can read this.
Okay. It says, there is no blame. I realize the need to blame someone, including myself. We are all doing the best we can with the understanding, knowledge, and awareness that we have. Cool.
So what does that mean for you?
Basically, not to be so hard on yourself. That, and I'm really preaching to the choir here. People are probably laughing out there saying,
Yeah,
"Really,
right.
Tina? You might want to tattoo this one to your forehead." It's a matter of not always blaming yourself for when
Right.
things don't go right. That you do the best you can with the knowledge that
Right,
you have.
right.
The facts that you have at the time, and sometimes, hindsight's 20/20. You can look back, you learn stuff later on in life. But sometimes we make decisions based on what we have at the time, and that should be good enough, right?
Yes, and
Right.
I think the non-blaming is also being kind to yourself, and you are giving all the time, Tina. You are a force out there in our community, and your leadership and your devotion and your commitment to the quality of care that Arcadia provides for family members is sensational, and that's why you need to refuel. And I think that's a great card for you because it is about really being kind to yourself.
Well, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I'm here, right?
Yes.
This is like a good way to be kind to
Yes.
myself, to come here and play
I'm
with
so
you.
glad. Well, I got one too. It's My
Okay.
home is a peaceful haven, and I'd have to say it is. I bless my home with love. I put love in every corner of my home and lovingly responds with warmth and comfort. I am at peace, and my home is definitely a place of peacefulness. So,
Well, especially now that you got a place to work. Your
yes,
own office, so
I have
home
another.
really is home.
It really is, and that's a really good point.
Yep.
So many people have come to me and they're like, "Kim, how did you make that transition?" And it was tough. It was. I felt the energy pushing me to move out of the house or the kitchen into space. I just didn't know it was going to be with Bill Rambam, but it just happened to be that he had the space that was perfect for us.
Yep.
So yesterday. Bill Rambam and his wife Wanda, they treated the whole staff and all the people that belong to the office space, but also some of their friends. And we were at the racetrack yesterday, and we had a great time, and that was the holiday
Wow.
party. So we got to
Nice.
celebrate. And
So
we,
you combine the two.
yeah, we all combined.
businesses.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
Yes, it was a lot of fun, and they had some friends there, and it was really great, and we had a lot of fun. And the women got together, and we had a little pot of gold, and we got to bed with that, and the guys did too. And I don't know exactly who won more, but we all had fun. I'll
Did
have to
anybody
say.
win? Did anybody?
We did win a few times
Okay,
on
cool.
some exactas that we boxed, and the horse came in first. So
What a
we had
great
fun.
idea for a
Yeah.
holiday party.
It was
Wow.
fun.
Nice.
It was fun. So again, if anyone wants these power cards, you can just iChat us right now, and we'll get during the break. I'll get you Dee's contact information, her new office number and address. She is in Carrollwood, right on Northdale Mabry, and again, just a wonderful lady with a great spirit. I want to talk a little about safety awareness for wherever you call home. When I say that, Tina, what does that bring up for you?
Well, it brings up a lot of different locations when I talk about safety in the home, and it's different depending on where you are. For people that are in the home that, maybe they raise their family in or their grandchildren in or whatever the case may be, your safety concerns are a little bit different because you don't have any external factors involved. But it can be in an assisted living community where at least there's other people close by. So things are a little bit, it's safer just by nature of where you are. It can be a independent retirement community. So maybe there's not people really, really close by, but there's more protection and safety in terms of not hopefully allowing just anybody to get in the door kind of thing. So that's
Right.
what it brings up for me.
And we could even, safety can extend into when people are traveling also.
Correct.
They have to think about safety in the home. And sometimes it could be very temporary. Maybe it's someone going through, they fell, broke their hip, went to rehab. Now they're staying with some family member for a certain period of time.
Correct.
That's home anywhere.
That's
this
true.
is what we're talking
Yeah.
about.
So yeah, it can be, it's wherever you are at whatever point in time for
Right.
whatever period of time that you're there, I guess. And it can be physical safety, it can be financial safety, it can be all different types of things. So I think it leaves the discussion pretty wide open for what we want to target.
Well, I agree. And we're going to be talking about some of the new things that are happening with Arcadia.
Yep.
So you definitely want to stay in touch because they're expanding their role into your life of staying home and also including safety awareness.
Correct.
So I think that's really great. Again, you can do iChat with us right on our website, thecaregiverhour.com. And just look for the tab for the radio show, and then we've got a live web stream. Or you can call us toll free at 1-877-897-8255. And we would love to talk to you. If you're in the mood or you're in a place to do that, you certainly can. And maybe you have some just caregiver questions that you would like to ask us. We would be happy to help you right here, right now. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Injured in a car accident or suffering from back and joint pain for a while? Clearly, you need to see a doctor. Call Dr. Ben, a chiropractor with 25 years experience. He listens, he cares, he gets results. His common sense approach? Coaching patients to be self-sufficient and less doctor dependent. Let's face it, there are many things you can do to improve your health. Call Dr. Ben at 727-488-8044. Mention the Caregiver Hour radio show for a free examination. 727-488-8044. Dr. Ben, your coach to better health. 727-488-8044.
Sometimes I know what I want to say, but just can't find the words.
Last week I shouted at my grandson, and I'm not sure why.
I saw my daughter, but couldn't remember her name.
The sooner you recognize the warning signs of Alzheimer's disease, the sooner you can do something about it. To learn more, go to alz.org/10signs. That's alz.org/10signs. A message from the Alzheimer's Association.
Caregiving can be an overwhelming and stressful experience. Aston Gardens, Tampa Bay's premier senior living community, is excited to be able to support those who care for others. Please join them the third Thursdays of the month at 5:30 p.m. to learn creative problem-solving techniques and caregiving ideas from others who have been in your shoes. Aston Gardens specializes in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Chosen for the third year in a row by the U.S. Commerce Association for the Best of Tampa Bay Award in residential care. Call 813-855-2811 or visit astongardens.com for more info.
Your home is where you feel relaxed, safe, and secure. Arcadia Home Care understands that you want to maintain that freedom and independence, even though you may be recuperating from an injury, illness, or simply require a little support with daily activities of living. You create a plan for your life as you envision it, and you can rest assured Arcadia will provide companionship, personal care, housekeeping, shopping, and errands, or whatever you need. They deliver their services with compassion, dependability, and professionalism. Their caregivers are screened, bonded, and insured, and must meet rigorous hiring standards, so you are confident you're receiving the best care possible for you or your loved one. Visit ArcadiaHomeCare.com or call St. Petersburg at 727-579-9414 or Tampa at 813-651-1300 to schedule your free in-home assessment and learn how Arcadia can enhance your quality of life while helping you stay at home and healthier longer. Arcadia Home Care, providing quality services since 1978.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we get into this wonderful conversation with Tina Casa from Arcadia Home Care and Staffing, if anyone is interested in these power cards, I do have Dee Woolridge's information. The phone number for her studio now is the Hypnotherapy and Integrative Health is 813-264-6052. Again, 813-264-6052. And tell her you heard about Dee on the Caregiver Hour, and maybe she'll give you a little extra something because she's such a wonderful person. She'll be tickled. She'll just be tickled. Oh my God, you heard about me on the radio on the Caregiver Hour. So Dee and I also talked about doing some things for next year. So, we're kind of getting that all coming together. So really, please be in touch with her. So I want to really come back to this whole concept of safety awareness for wherever you call home. And we were
Correct.
talking to Tina about what that meant to her. But what does that really mean for also Arcadia Home Care and Staffing? Aren't you doing some new things?
Well, yeah. What we're doing is we put together something that's very with the times, I guess you could say, and trying to meet the demands of our customers that are out there. And their service plan packages is what they are. And what they allow the individual client or customer to do is to create the care that they need and to purchase that time in advance. So they can have, and when you look at the packages, it has some of the same things are in each of them. So you're actually purchasing a block of time is what it is at a significantly decreased rate than if you purchased it outside of these packages. So that's the benefit to it as well. I mean, and one of the best parts is that with every single package, which is somewhat unique to Arcadia, not to everybody out there, but regardless, you get a free RN assessment with every single package. We do that with everybody anyway. So, I mean, that in itself is a huge value if you consider the cost for something like that versus having it come with one of these packages. So that's kind of how it works. And
can I ask you something? I know this is on the spot, but because we haven't talked about this. So you have a nurse go out. It's a free assessment when you're setting someone up for your services.
Well, whether they're taking our services or not, that's one of the nice things. It's automatic whether they use our services or not. So that's why I tell people all the time, you have absolutely nothing to lose by calling us because you're not getting, with some companies, they'll send a coordinator or a scheduler or, possibly a marketing and salesperson out there to meet with somebody, which is great.
Right.
But on top of that, we also do a full head-to-toe RN assessment, whether you use our services or not.
Okay.
So the hope is that even if you didn't need it right now, that you would think of us at some point down the road.
So this is why I talked about that commitment from Arcadia and why you're out there promoting them so well. And what a great representative. Excuse me. What happened? Is there any time when the nurse comes back to reevaluate? That was my question, my second part of the question.
Absolutely. It's kind of, they can have it more frequent if they want, but if their service plan, if what we're doing for them involves any sort of personal care, which is going to be hands-on, bathing, grooming, dressing, that kind of thing, then a nurse comes out every 60 days.
Okay.
An RN for a supervisory visit, again, not charged for. It's part of our package. It's part of being a licensed home health agency. It's part of, we're also going for our ACHC accreditation. Currently,
so tell me what that is.
That's going to raise, it already is raising, I guess, our standard of care, our level of attention to our clients. And it's not something that Arcadia has to do. It's something that they've chosen to do to kind of set us apart from some of the other agencies that are out there. So it just raises the amount of supervision and regulation that we have as a company, and then it kind of drizzles down to the supervision that the caregivers get, that our inside team gets.
Wow.
So it's nice. So whether they're going to get their initial RN assessment, and then if they're on service, obviously, if they decide to utilize us, then they're going to get an RN visit every 60 to 90 days, depending on what their service is.
Okay. That would give me a lot of comfort knowing that a nurse was coming back
Somebody's
in.
watching the
Exactly,
caregiver,
because if something is changing, I wasn't thinking so much about the caregiver, but the change of health of the person who needs the care.
Correct.
Things change. And
we've noticed in probably the last, I want to say 4 or 5 months, that the acuity level or the needs of our clients have gotten to be so much more intense than what they had been before. So that was one of the reasons why we decided to do this, because it got to the point we really need more clinical oversight than what we were getting. So, but we didn't pass that additional expense or cost or anything onto the client or to the customer. It's just part of the way we do business.
That's wonderful. So that's nationwide.
Correct.
And so how many Arcadias are there? Because now that we're live web stream, Tina, I'm getting the Google analytics are flying off the chart.
I think there's like 5 million Arcadia's a no, I'm kidding.
I was going to say $5 million.
Yeah, no, not so much.
That'd be in every corner.
No, and we're actually looking at expanding here in Florida as well. Once we get the ACHC accreditation, which will allow us to do even more services than what we currently provide. So we're a national company, and I would refer people to our national website, which, by the way, is also brand new. I forgot to mention that when I was talking about what I wanted to talk about today, but we also just revamped our national website along with our individual office website. So I would encourage everyone, to go check it out, especially if you've seen it before.
Okay.
The difference, the before and after is phenomenal.
So why don't you give them your website?
Okay. It is ArcadiaHomeCareandStaffing.com. And if you want to go to an individual office, if you want to look at St. Petersburg or Tampa or Jacksonville or Daytona, you just put a / and then type in the office number. So, for example, if they want to look at St. Pete's website, they can go www.arcadiahomecareandstaffing.com /St. Petersburg.
Okay. Or they can go to the main website, I would think.
And then just click on location. Absolutely.
Okay. Because we do have family members that have maybe their loved ones here in St. Pete or in this area, but are going up north, and there could be a location for them. And that would be nice streamlining.
Absolutely. If we can keep within the same company would be nice. But our offices are also really great about referral partners. So let's say, for example, someone from one of our locations called and they have one of their clients going down to an area that we don't yet have an office, whether at West Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, whatever. We have contacts in those areas. So at least they're not starting from scratch, going through the yellow pages or doing some online surfing. They can, the referral's the best way to go.
Yes.
You can get a referral. So that helps too.
So would they be able to use this package
anywhere?
Anywhere.
Correct.
It could be, it's global.
Yes.
Okay.
And what I found out there promoting this and delivering this is it was originally intended just to be for assisted living communities, retirement communities, that kind of thing. But then I started to get some feedback from the people we were sending them to. But Tina, what about just to the regular consumer or an attorney that's making referrals or a trust officer?
It's so clever.
It's perfect.
Yep.
It's allows them to have exactly what they need, tailored specifically to where their needs are, and then kind of take it from there.
So if anyone has any questions, why don't we have them be in touch with you? Because not everyone is able to watch the website.
Okay.
You kind of want to be able to have them refer to you.
Absolutely. I'll give them my contact information in St. Pete. And actually, you can talk to any one of my girls, one of my A-team, I like to call them, in there for Arcadia.
Yes.
We've got Jackie, Sue, and Tammy are in there. And Denise is my director of nursing. She's the RN that's going out. So the best way to get them is our not toll-free, 727-579-9414 is our office number.
And you want to ask about the personal service plans
packages. Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, when you look at it in terms of what our normal cost is, they're saving anywhere from $1.25 to $1.50 an hour, which is phenomenal. So
and getting great care.
And getting great care.
And getting that nurse assessment. That
which
was
is
really
key. And even if they don't need our services, it's something we make a point of is we refer to others. If they just need maybe some safety equipment in the home, we'll make those referrals for them. Even if we can't provide that service, we'll find somebody that does.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, you are a great resource, Ms. Tina Costa.
Thank you.
And you also can connect with Arcadia through our website, thecaregiverhour.com. Say if you're on the website now, you can just go to our sponsor page and you can just click to call on our helpline, but also right on our website. We've got Arcadia in a few different places for you to make it convenient. We are going to have another guest, and this is a new guest. Lisa Lawrence is from Assisted Transitions, and it's not a new concept. It's new to Florida, and that's why you want to know about it. Lisa Lawrence is the president at Assisted Transition, and she will be with us right after the break. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
I was thinking about buying a new car, but then I thought about the meat market of being on the lot, and then the price that you end up paying is not the lowest it could be. But then I found out about TrueCar.com. At TrueCar.com, you can actually see what others paid for the car that you're looking to buy in your area. You can have total transparency when it comes to the car you want and the confidence to know you're getting a great price. On top of that, you can lock in negotiation-free guaranteed savings on the car you're looking for. And TrueCar users save an average of $3,000 off MSRP. So here's how it works. Go to TrueCar.com and get a savings certificate. Then take that savings certificate to a TrueCar certified dealer, and you don't have to worry about the hassle and anxiety of the old way of buying a car. So if you too are ready to buy a new car, why wouldn't you go to TrueCar.com? Negotiation-free guaranteed savings, a hassle-free experience, and a TrueCar certified dealer that is committed to a new and better way to buy a car. Save time, save money, and never overpay. Visit TrueCar.com today.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-800-241-7640. 1-800-241-7640. That's 1-800-241-7640. 1-800-241-7640.
This report is brought to you by Massage Envy.
Give the gift of relaxation this holiday season. Buy 3 Massage Envy Spa gift cards and get a 1-hour massage session free. Now through December 31st. All clinics do not offer facial services. Not valid online. Restrictions apply. See clinic for details.
From Bright House Networks Traffic Center, southbound 275 slows from Bird Street into Hillsborough Avenue with an accident in the left lane. I-75 has an accident southbound at Moccasin Wallow and a wreck in the right lane northbound at Bruce B. Downs. There's a crash westbound on 54 at Duck Slough, an accident southbound on US 19 at the 110th Avenue overpass, and a wreck on 19 at 580. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick Hillsborough traffic tip line at 866-545-9595.
Mostly sunny with just a slight chance of an afternoon thunderstorm going up to 81. Tonight, a 30% chance of rain under clouds, 61 for the low. 70 on Tuesday under cloudy skies. Breezy, eventually clearing by afternoon as a cold front moves through. Right now, 74 in Tampa, 70 in St. Petersburg. The Beef O'Brady's Bowl, Ohio versus East Carolina. It's happening this afternoon at Tropicana Field. We have the broadcast here on 1250 Winds starting at 1:30.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 Winds WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are so thrilled to be in the studio today. Really having Tina Costa here from Arcadia Home Care and Staffing. We're very grateful. But now we have this new woman in town, Lisa Lawrence, and she is also a powerhouse, president at Assisted Transition. So we want to welcome Lisa to the Caregiver Hour radio show. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I know you are actively caregiving for your father. How is he doing?
He's doing a little better.
Okay.
It's just a day-to-day thing, and I'm sure everyone listening understands
Yes.
that completely. But I have a fantastic family here who is doing a lot of caregiving, and even down to my 16-year-old niece, they all take time and spend time with him and have been a great help, phenomenal help.
You know, let's talk about that a little more. I don't want to graze over that because that's so important and relatable for other caregivers. Let's talk about who else is caring for him. And also, Lisa, how are you taking care of yourself? And then we're going to get into your company, you're talking about what you do and how you help caregivers. So tell us what's happening in that household.
Well, my father and his wife live about a stone's throw away from my sister and her family, which is very nice. And so my stepmother is a phenomenal caregiver. She's amazing, actually. But my family pitches in because it's a lot of work, as everyone knows. And even my 16-year-old niece spends time. They take turns, depending on the schedules of everyone's working. And so they just help each other. They spend time. They make sure that someone's always there with him. He does have some home care coming in, and he has hospice care, but there are a lot of times where there's no one there, so they all take turns just making sure that he's got someone there to attend to his needs and give him anything that he needs and keep him company. And it's just I have a great family, so
That's
I'm very
great.
fortunate for
Very
that.
good. So I also hear communication is very important and all the planning, and that way you're really working integratively with the outside services as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I love it. So
Very
that's a great
important.
example. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. And I hope that helps another family who may be going through that same stress right now during this time of year. So, Lisa, let's talk about you and this company that you've now started with, Assisted Transition, here in the Tampa Bay area.
Okay, yes, I started the business because I had been in the corporate environment in the healthcare industry for 30 years, and I really wanted to do something the second half of my life where I felt I was giving back. And I really enjoy working with the elderly, and they just have such fascinating stories, and I just wanted to do something where I could help. And so I started Assisted Transition, and we help seniors find long-term care solutions, basically. And we do that by assessing the individual, including their social needs, their care needs, where they want to be geographically, what their budget is, and then we help them understand what their options are. And those options may mean assisted living, but it might also mean staying home with some additional care and some companion services or housekeeping services. There are a lot of different options. And what we really try to do is get to know the individual and then offer them options that meet their needs.
Well, that sounds like a very empowering company philosophy of really helping the caregiver and their loved one make these important decisions. Did you want to say something else?
I was just going to say it's really overwhelming, I think, and I hear this from every single client that I talk to. Most of them are very overwhelmed, and they don't even know where to start, and they definitely are having a hard time making decisions because they're overwhelmed. And so being able to offer them what those options are and put them in touch with resources that can fulfill those options, like Tina, for instance, is, I think, just a great benefit. And we offer the services at no cost to our clients.
Okay. So let's give people a scenario, because people are very visual. They like stories.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a story that you can tell how you helped a family maybe being discharged from the hospital or rehab center?
Yes. One example I can give is we had an individual, an elderly man. He's 90 years old, and he doesn't have family in Florida. But he does have children who care about him, and they made sure that he had some home care services. He had a companion coming in who was cooking for him and doing some activities with him so that he had company. And he had a mini stroke, and he fell. And it put him in the hospital, and his daughters came from out of town and decided that it was time for him to move into assisted living because they just didn't feel comfortable with him being at home alone anymore. So we found an assisted living community for him very quickly, in a matter of a few days, and we helped the family arrange for his move and get everything situated. And he is actually, this particular client is still in the hospital, but he's ready to move into the assisted living community as soon as he's discharged. So we can act pretty quickly when we need to, and that's an example of a situation where an individual did have some home care services, but it just got to the point where it wasn't enough.
Right.
And it didn't provide the comfort that the family needed, and incidentally, he wanted to move into assisted living because I think he was afraid to be alone as much as he had been.
Right, and we understand that. I think Tina wants to say something.
Yeah. First of all, hey, Lisa.
Hello.
How are you?
Sorry I'm not there in person with you guys.
I know. I was thinking I was going to see you.
I know.
What I wanted to say real quick, because the story that you just told is a scenario that we see a lot of times, and something that to kind of keep in mind. One of the other tremendous programs that Arcadia has, and one that actually, not to be an ego type thing here or anything, but that I created, was the House to Home program. It's a transition program where someone like this, Lisa, would have been a perfect candidate for that, because the same caregiver that was out there doing the companionship with him, doing activities with him, cooking, cleaning, all of that, would also stay with him through the process of going into the assisted living community to make sure he was comfortable there. Help him meet people, get situated there, go to activities there. So it's something to consider. That the home care doesn't have to go away completely, and usually with the House to Home program, there's an end date, there's a strategy involved. It's not forever. It is a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, whatever they need just to get comfortable, and slowly, hopefully, that caregiver transitions out.
You know, that really is a good point, because since I have that background in assisted living, you know, it is hard. That transition is hard. And when you are with someone who does know you, there is a comfort level to that.
Correct.
And helping them get acclimated to the new setting and helping those new caregivers in the facility understand who this gentleman is or who this new person, new resident is really helpful to them because, again, he was by himself and then he had some care, but otherwise there's no one there to really talk about what this man, what are his preferences.
Correct. And during creating the program, and I did several focus groups with assisted living communities, and that was the one thing they loved about it was, you know, because the big chance you take, Lisa, and I'm sure you know this as well, because this is your job, you want them to be happy when they get there because you don't want them to move out. Because they're not because they're not engaged, they're not going to, they're not doing anything, they're staying in their room. So a lot of times, and something for you to look at when you're talking to the communities, Lisa, is sometimes they have money built in to their move-in fund that they can allot for something like the services that we provide to help solidify that move-in, so that in 30 days or 14 days or 60 days, that person's not calling their family saying, "I'm miserable, I want to leave."
Well, and also when someone has had that individual attention, all of a sudden now they're in a facility.
Correct.
And you mean I have to pull a bell or, you know, have to pull a cord.
Or I got to go to all these meals by myself. Or there's activities, but I don't want to go alone.
Where is the dining room? No one's talking to me. Like that's that person really can be pivotal in making this a happy transition.
Correct. And it's
that's
not
really interesting,
Yeah,
Tina.
and it's not a huge expense. And like I said, we sit down with the family, Lisa, so you know going in, and we come up with a calendar, a plan. How many days, how many hours, and then we're out. So just a thought, wanted to intervene that.
Okay.
Yes, you're absolutely right. And there are people who do need help because they can't automatically just become social.
Right.
Some of them are out of practice because they've been at home alone for a long time, and they need some help getting out there. But once they're out there and they've met people and they're more comfortable, they're happy. So any help they can get. And I do ask the question when we are putting someone into an assisted living community, they're trying to select a place. That's an important question to ask. How do you acclimate new residents to your community? What do you have? Some of them have resident committees that help welcome new people who move in, and some of them, you know, have special processes that they follow. But it's important that they be comfortable and transition as smoothly as possible. It makes a huge difference.
It does, and that's really that holistic approach. That's really looking at the person holistically about what their care is as they make this transition. So I think you're gonna be a rising star when you put that in there with that. And thank you for bringing that up, Tina, and Lisa. Thank you for being so open about that. We want to have you come back after the break, Lisa, because there's a few more things we want to talk to you about. And why don't we just shout out right now in case someone is listening or watching and wants to call you right away? What's the best way for them to reach you?
Our phone number is 727-282-5019.
Okay, and this would be just calling, getting some information. How do you handle an inquiry?
Well, we'll ask some questions about what they're looking for, what issues they're trying to deal with, and if it's something that we can help them with, then we'll go into more detail. And generally, we'll set up a time where I can meet with, or my daughter, who also works with me. We can actually meet with the client because we want to get to know them, so we can find the right solution for them or help offer them the right solution. We want to get to know them and what they're looking for and what their care needs are and what their personality is like. So it's a pretty thorough intake process. If we can help someone, that's the process we follow.
Okay, and just very quickly, are you covering all of Tampa Bay, or are you in a certain county?
We are specifically in Pinellas County. However, we can offer assistance, some level of assistance to people in the entire Tampa Bay area.
Okay, that's perfect. We have some people for you to meet so that you have that referral base as well. Lisa, we want you to stay with us. We are going to be returning. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership leadership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer.
We all know that life can change quickly, and when an elderly loved one suddenly needs in-home care, there's one trusted name you can count on at a moment's notice: Senior Helpers. Senior Helpers is a national leader in professional in-home senior care. They specialize in companionship, personal care, and even dementia care using their unique Senior GEMS approach. Find out how they can help you today. Call them at 727-210-1414. Senior Helpers, comfort and care at a moment's notice.
Enjoy life at the Barrington, Largo's premier senior community. The Barrington, the resort lifestyle you deserve at a price you can afford. Life at the Barrington is truly senior living at ease, complete with chef-prepared meals, an activities director, and transportation to your favorite spots. Independent and assisted living homes are available now by calling the Barrington at 727-217-5681. Call the Barrington at 727-217-5681 to schedule your tour of their pet-friendly senior community today.
Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambam, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambamlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Family caregivers, it's new and just for you. The Caregivers Resource Helpline, a free service brought to you by the Caregiver Hour radio show. If you've got questions about anything related to caregiving, you can call the helpline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Speak directly to dozens of caregiving experts on topics like what to do about caregiver burnout, how to best protect your family's assets, when to keep your loved one at home, or get assistance with a managed care facility, and much, much more. You can even speak to a caregiver coach. Call the Caregiver Resource Helpline today at 1-877-552-4950 to help you take the stress out of caregiving. It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this wonderful Caregiver Hour radio show. I love being here every Monday for you, but I'm here all week long and basically almost 24 hours a day. We have this fabulous helpline that's really available for caregivers, and people have been calling. And we want you to continue to call because we've got some great resources and experts there for you. The toll-free number is 1-877-897. Oh, that's my number here. So it's so there's so many numbers going on in this little head of mine. All right, let's go back to the helpline number. The helpline number, and I hope I have this memorized, is 1-877-552-4950. Okay, I grabbed that from that head of mine. Again, it's 1-877-552-4950. And that's the number you call when you're at that point where you're crying. I take criers. I take people who are laughing. I take people who are very upset. I take people who are trying to plan ahead. Kim, I see the signs that are going on with my loved one making changes. How can you help me? Or Kim, I'm at my breaking point. I need your support. I need someone to listen. I don't know. I want someone who's not going to judge me. I want someone who can guide me, who can connect me with resources. That's what I'm talking about. So again, that toll-free number is 1-877-552-4950. You can always go on the website. There is a helpline tab where you can get connected to us right away. There's a click-to-call feature, which is very cool, and also helps you get connected to our resources ASAP. So this is circling back to the caregiver segment, which I always love because I get to come back to my guests. And I have two wonderful guests, Tina Costa, who's our area director for Arcadia Home Care and Staffing, and she does such a great job, and Lisa Lawrence, who is president of Assisted Transitions. And, you know, having the two of you on together, I think I feel a bridge happening here, and this is a good thing. So why don't I first have Tina come back, and we were talking about the helpline a little. What is your take on the helpline, Tina?
Well, I think people don't realize what a great benefit it is until they actually call and utilize it. And we've gotten, I mean, sometimes it's just, they just need information.
Yes.
They may not necessarily need services. They may need just, where do I go? Who do I talk to? And sometimes it's just a few pointers or pieces of information that we can give them, and they're good to go for a certain amount of time. So it's not something that you have to call and then tap into a service and it's going to cost you money or time. None of that. Sometimes it's just, someone might be able to give you what you're looking for on the phone.
Yep, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's a free resource for you. And let's, we were also talking about, we want to bring Lisa back on too. And Lisa, you still there with us?
I'm still here.
Okay, great. We hear you loud and clear, which is really a great connection. We were talking about the first signs of when someone's, a family member hears it on the phone, someone's repeating, or someone isn't answering the phone. Maybe it's a hearing issue. Maybe it's a memory issue. Tell us, all of our caregivers who may also be going through this for the first time, what are some of the signs that you tell your family members that maybe it's time to see that there needs to be some added care or a change in their life?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I think when you're on the phone with a loved one, let's say you don't live in the same city, it's more difficult to understand because they'll tell you things are fine.
Right.
And sometimes they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And so you really have to listen sort of past their words and do some observation on your own. And things like, let's say your loved one used to go play bingo every Tuesday and they tell you on the phone that they just don't want to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there may be a reason why they don't. Maybe they can't do it anymore. Maybe they can't get out and do the things they want to do anymore. And they're not going to tell you necessarily that they can't do those things. That's one thing that you can listen for. If you are seeing your loved one, the things you can look for are a neglected environment where they may live. For instance, if you have a mother who was an impeccable housekeeper and you go to visit and her house is a mess, that could be a sign that she can no longer take care of her house, and she may need some help. If she's not taking care of herself, for instance, and showering, that's another sign that she probably can't shower on her own, and she may need some help. If someone's losing weight, they've lost their appetite, you see that it could be a sign that they have a health condition, but it could also just be a sign that they can't prepare their meals anymore, and they may need some help with that. Social isolation, if they are getting depressed because they aren't getting out and doing the activities they used to do, getting outside of the house, even just out in the yard because they can't anymore, you'll start to hear signs that they may be depressed, and that's another key signal. There's just a lot of things that you can look at. If they're falling and they're admitting to you that they're falling, that's a red flag, clearly.
I like how you said, and if they admit that to you, because they don't always admit that to you, so I get it.
Well, and I would say, and I'm sure Lisa would agree with this, our elders become very good at compensating.
Yes.
They know what to say. They know how to respond to your questions. So Lisa's absolutely right. If you can get there or have someone, if you're not local, another reason why, you might want to have someone go in and just talk to them and look at the situation, because you almost need to be a private investigator. Go in and look in their refrigerator. Do they have a bunch of expired food items in there? Go check out the lawn.
Do they have food items that aren't food items?
That aren't, well, yeah. That's kind of scary. Yeah, I guess that could happen. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, go into their laundry room and see. Go into, I mean, it's just, sometimes it takes eyes, boots on the ground.
And we don't mean that you're going to have someone come in your home and they're going to start investigating. Show me your home. Mm-hmm. There's a way to present it where, let me see your lovely home, and then they will show you, and that'll give you an opportunity kind of to look. And if you want to ask for something to eat, if they ask you for something, offer you something, say
right.
yes.
I was assuming family and friends, but yeah, no, if it's somebody that they don't know, yeah, you're going to kind of approach it a little bit different. You don't want to go in there showing your, detective badge.
Yeah, but if you're a family member, you want to look. And we also talk about if you are going to be from out of town and you are visiting mom, go into the house. When they say, "Oh, I'll meet you outside at the curb," that's a sign. We don't want really you to come in the house. We want you. So that's kind of like, no, I think I'll come in. I got to go to the bathroom. Let me, or I need something to drink. So that any excuse to get you in there, because they are very good at hiding things.
They will hide it very well.
Yeah, because they're fearful, and that's understandable. And you want to support them. So
right. And the other thing to look for is medications.
Yes.
This is a common thing is if you go to their home, you should always look at their medications to make sure that they're taking them. Because if they have a bottle that's full of something that they should be taking on a daily basis and it was filled on October 31st, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So should always be looking at that too.
And what about, we're talking about safety awareness. That's really looking at where cords are, where rugs are. What about you, Tina?
Well, yeah, like
your
going
staff
into the
must be trained to do that.
Absolutely, going into the bathroom and seeing if they have grab bars there,
right?
In the bathtub and in the shower. And that's another biggie, though, in terms of like throw rugs and scatter rugs and things like that. I mean, that people's walkers or any canes could get caught on, and like Lisa said, falls are a biggie. And the sad thing is, you can have someone, I think we've talked about this before, that is very healthy basically for someone in their late 80s or in their 90s, and they can be just doing fabulous until they fall.
Yeah.
And it changes everything.
And I think that a couple other things too is lighting in the home.
Yes. Yep.
Because as we all know, I'm included, you don't see as well in dim light as you do in bright light, and you can trip over something that's in the floor that you didn't see. So, clearing the pathways, getting the rugs up that they could trip on, getting the lighting, improving the lighting so they can see where they're going. All those things I think are good things to do to improve the environment.
And we also talked about sometimes their comforter can be something slippery because they'll slip off the comforter and hit the floor and fall that way too.
Well, I never really thought about that, but I guess that could be.
So, Lisa and Tina, there are two things that you guys are doing free for people, and I think we should close this segment with it. Okay. So, Lisa, why don't you tell us again the free service that you're offering our family members?
Well, we help them, particularly if they're looking for a different living environment for their loved one. We will assess the client, get to understand what they're looking for, whether it be independent living, assisted living, memory care, or even long-term care in a nursing home. We can help direct them to a community or a facility that meets their needs. And we do that by trying to match people up with, like I said, all of those social factors, everything that meets their needs. And that's really the main service that we provide.
That's great. And Tina, very quickly, your free services?
Well, that's an RN coming out to their home, wherever that may be, and just kind of gathering information, doing an assessment, making sure that that hopefully they're safe where they are, but if they're not, then we turn it over to me, Lisa, and maybe she can help them find a new home.
You guys, what a wonderful two guests. Thank you so much for being with us today on the Caregiver Hour show. I'm here every Monday from 11 a.m. till noon on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the preceding program are not those of WHNZ AM.